Hello everybody and welcome to Pinball Storytellers, where my name is Justin and Justin is Chucky. How is it going, everybody?
How come you always have the overlays switched?
It's because Zoom always switches us whenever we have a conference.
Ah, I see.
It changes people around.
Isn't Zoom just... But in Zoom it's only by order of people added, so we could just...
Yeah. But it's weird usually because I usually make up the call and give it to you.
Yeah.
Which I did this time as well. Anyway, how has your week been, Justin?
My week's been pretty much the same. To be honest. My wife ended up sleeping for 16 hours on Sunday.
Well, yeah, I think you told us that on Bound one of the breaks.
Yep, but now the whole world knows that she slept for 16 hours. And in her defense, she doesn't get a lot of sleep during the week, and last weekend we had to go to a wedding on her sleep-in day, so she was like 2 weeks behind on sleep. As opposed to her normal 1 week behind.
It's usually how my weekends go, though. Because of the shows and all, I usually get to sleep in like 3 of the days at 2 AM, and then wake up at 7. So I usually sleep a lot, like 12 hours or 10 hours in the weekends. Anyway, I've mentioned this in chat. I went to a Secret Santa party. I've done a lot of Secret Santas this year. I actually participated in the Reddit Gifts one on the internet. I already sent my gift. I haven't received any. And I feel like I won't, because there's this bar there that tells you if your Secret Santa has pulled your information. And it's like 2 days from the deadline and he hasn't. So I don't think I'll receive one. But I sent an awesome one to somebody in Bucharest. And today I got this awesome notebook. And my Secret Santa was so awesome that she found, actually, I think it was a she. Found the pictures from Comic-Con and gave them to me like this. This is like supposed to sell me. I'm calling them by their show names. And Celia Farrell, and these are like the VAB group from Comic-Con. Awesome times. And I'm really happy with this gift. I wouldn't have expected it. When I got it from my friends, I could not have guessed who was it until somebody told me. Well, told me that she thought it was that girl. Anyway. About Pinball Storytellers.
It's not very... I feel like the Secret Santa operation isn't very secret.
No, it's not. It's more of a get-together, get some beers, and give each other gifts.
You know who'd be good at being Secret Santas? Ninjas.
Ninjas. Wow. Imagine this empty room. 1 second passes. There's a full Christmas tree in the corner. Presents all over. Another second passes. All the presents are not there anymore. There's like tissues of the ninjas where they cried on the ground. Or empty bottles of beer and so on. Eggnog, which is an American thing more. I've never drank an eggnog.
Most Americans haven't drank eggnog either.
Wow. Oh, I'm
not real eggnog, because they get it in like pre-made cartons, and originally it was alcoholic. And the stuff you get from the... Yeah, it's not. It's actually based on an English drink, though. What was it called?
I think it's Scottish. Isn't it Scottish?
No, it was an English drink.
I have no idea.
There was a frothy alcoholic egg milk beverage that the English really liked, and it had a weird name. I'm trying to remember it. I can't remember what it is.
Well...
But it was definitely more popular in the US. Definitely more popular in the US.
On to more important things. Pinball Storytellers. This week we have a... well, we ran around our tails trying to find a cool story, and that is my message received, and I'll close it shortly. We ran around our tails to find out what we should do today. And finally we came up with the idea... Actually, somebody in chat came up with this idea on the last Storytellers Talk to Twist chat, and we thought it was a great idea, so we basically stole it. We are gonna go back to the first format we did, that is co-op storytelling, and we are going to tell you the story of Hansel and Gretel.
Or maybe not. We don't know yet.
We don't know how it will go. And well, if somebody in chat does not know what Pinball Storyteller is, it is a storytelling show where we try and tell you stories, familiar stories with uncertain endings, by bending in a basically dice to make it random. That's where pinball comes from. Okay, so as we did with the first format, let's first decide our characters. We have the two Hansel and Gretel, of course, and then we have the mother, the father, and the witch. So, shall we roll stats for them?
Yeah. Let's see. You want to go first?
Okay, let's do for Hansel and Gretel first. I think like they're the most important here.
Okay.
So let's do for.
Are we gonna do them straight down the line? Or are we gonna be able to like move one?
Move one. No,
Okay.
actually they're children. Straight down the line. I'm gonna roll 1d2. If I roll a 1, I'm gonna go for Hansel. If I roll a 2, I'll go for Gretel. Okay. Hansel it is. 3d6.
That's strength, though.
Wow. Hansel is one of those skinny kids who never really liked doing PE at school. He kind of always found an excuse to say, my back hurts, I've like broken my hand a couple of months ago and I can't really do anything with it.
And he never got away with it because his charisma was awful.
Yeah, people just like, whatever, Hansel. Okay, so next in line after that we have Gretel. Let's go on.
Hopefully Gretel's a little bit better.
So let's see, we have a strength of 8, a constitution of 11, which is weird because he does have a constitution. Oh no, that's a dexterity, not a constitution.
Are you doing strength dex, not strength con dex?
You usually did it like strength dex con.
Okay.
Okay, constitution 7. Wisdom, intelligence, charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're next. Go. Roll for Gretel.
So we're doing Gretel.
We are doing Gretel.
3d6.
Gretel is like that. Yeah.
Gretel's just slightly better than Hansel in all areas.
Gretel is
Except for
like the muscle and the
girl muscle.
and the brains and the charisma. She's like everything that Hansel is not, which is mostly everything.
They have the same con though. It's funny.
They have the same con. It's genetics. It happens.
It's genetic.
But Hansel is more dexterous.
They're not going to be walking through that forest for very long if we impose con checks.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's actually if I remember correctly, 3 days. They spent 3 days in that forest. By the story. Okay, we'll see. So, I think the next important...
I know there's starvation rules in 5e, right?
The exhaustion levels. I don't think there's starvation rules. There might be in the DMG, but again, I just placed my order. It just came like in Bucharest to the shop that I talked to, so I should be getting it soon. Hopefully. Anyway, mother and father. You roll 1d2 to see. 1 is father, 2 is mother. Good. So go for
the mother first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, those stats though.
How? There's a question. We did in the first final. We made changes to the story. Do you want to do any changes to the story here?
I don't know. I think there's something to be said for the idea you had off stream.
It's an idea. I don't think it's necessarily the best one here. It's kind of edgy. It might be good, it might not be good.
I mean, it does explain what happens, why the mother's not there when they get back. Because it doesn't really make sense that the guy who was willing to like literally leave his children for dead in the woods didn't starve while the wife did. It seems like the wife would have talked him out of, you know, giving himself food.
Yeah, and I think that the mother would have just taken it. I mean,
yeah.
how it was, he was so sad. I think it's good to say that the mother is the witch.
I think it's a subtle little addition. So somehow the mother is also the witch, and we'll have to work that out as we go along.
We'll see how it goes.
I don't know. Mother, you know, if you mother starts with an M, and if you turn an M upside down, it's a W.
She's a water. Okay.
All right. Roll stats for the dad.
Well, let's roll stats for the dad. Wow! Look at that! Look at the dad! How in the world is the dad supposed to be convinced to do something he does not with that willpower, with that intelligence and willpower?
I'm pretty sure women roll with advantage on any charisma check where they're having sex with the guy afterwards.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. So that's not a change to the story. It's like the PG-18 change to it. Intelligence 16. This guy is very smart. Why he is a woodcutter, I do not know.
I don't know. Maybe his father was a woodcutter, and he's like, I just want to be a woodcutter. It reminds me of my father. I had a pleasant experience with my father.
So it's one of those places where the father, if the father was an asshole, it would have actually been better for the child because he would have done something with his full potential.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Okay. One of those rare instances.
So I think that's about it for our characters. Let's see if we want to make any other changes to the story. Do you want to do any other changes to the story? Do you think there's anything more to say about Hansel and Gretel?
Well, I'm kind of wondering why a guy who lives in a forest and in theory has a lot of forest craft available to him is starving to death. People always need wood. You can always sell it, and if people don't need wood, unless he has like taxes to pay on his house or something, he can go out in the forest and hunt and get food.
Well, in this story, it says dearth. Let's see what. Actually, I have no idea exactly what dearth is.
Dearth? Dearth is a lack.
A lack.
Yeah.
So there's a great lack. That's what it says in the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. Well, I'm thinking maybe there's a great lack.
Maybe they meant like a drought fell on the land and and farming was hugely affected. That would explain why there's no bread, but doesn't explain why he can't go out hunting. Maybe the king put a ban on hunting, and if he goes out hunting, he gets like he risks getting executed if he gets caught. I don't know. People have done that usually in royal forests, but still, it's a thing people have done in the past.
Interesting. So would you say that this forest is a royal forest?
Sure, maybe he's like a caretaker.
That's good. That sounds good. He's like the caretaker that everybody in the past forgot about. And it's like, it's too far away to actually go and talk to him, because if he would go to the castle, his family would just starve.
Okay. So he's like caught between a rock and a hard place where he could, in theory, procure funds for eating, but in order to do so, he'd have to go far enough away that in the interim, his family would starve to death.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Anything else? Anything else we feel like changing? I feel like there's a point to how the mother has been doing all of this. I think she's not actually like she's actually the mother. Like, she's not the mother of these children, but she came in.
You think she's like the evil stepmother?
The evil stepmother, but the children don't know. She came in like after a couple of years after they were birthed, and The father never told him.
Or maybe the husband doesn't know either. Maybe she's a witch, so she killed the real wife and took on her form.
Nice. Okay. So the mother is basically a you call it shapeshifter. Interesting. That explains a lot.
And she's really bored, which is why she's thinking up these Bond-esque schemes to get dinner.
Yeah, she's like, I've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. Let's make it interesting.
But she's not very bright, so she only has a 7 int, so she's not very bright, so her Bond-esque schemes are terrible.
Yeah, but it's working out for her because at that time usually everybody's kind of that stupid.
That's true, and she has magic and they don't, so.
Yeah, so it's Kazam, bitch, basically.
Can she actually say that at some point during the?
I think so. I think so. I think whoever gets to play the witch needs to work in Kazam bitch as a line of the witch in this story, but make it logically, make it make sense.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Hopefully I'm not playing the witch because I think that'd be a hard one.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll go for it. So, let's roll for characters and let's see who plays who.
Okay.
Seeing as the father appears in the same scene, well, Gretel is not interacting whatsoever, but she is there. So I'm thinking that first we roll to see who plays the father and who plays the children. And after that, when we get to only Hansel and Gretel, then we roll again to see who plays which.
Okay.
Well, who?
Seems fair.
Okay, so let's roll for...
I mean, the first scene, though, it's the mother and the father talking to each other, and Hansel and Gretel over here. So who wants to play... If whoever plays the father, whoever plays the children will also play the mother in those scenes? So
and whoever plays the father gets to play... No, that doesn't make sense, because whoever plays the mother needs to play the witch as well.
Yeah, so... Well, we can do this. We can have whoever plays Hansel also plays the witch in the first few, or the mother in the first few scenes, and then when we get to the witch, we can roll again. Okay, good. So, let's do it first. Let's roll for father, Hansel and Gretel, and the mother. So, 1d20, who rolls highest gets to be the father, because I think here, the father is the best bet. Okay. And... I'm the father. Looks like I'm Hansel.
Looks like you're Hansel.
And Gretel, but she doesn't say anything.
Oh, and who plays the mother again?
I'll play the mother in the first scene, where it's just... Because you're playing the father the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
And then later on, we'll have to change it. But...
Let's see. Hard by a great forest dwelt a poor woodcutter with his wife and his 2 children. The boy was called Hansel, and the girl Gretel. He had little to bite and to break, and once, when a great dearth fell on the land, he could not even procure daily bread. Now he thought over this night by his bed, and tossed about in his anxiety. He groaned, they say, to his wife, "What is to become of us? How are we to feed these poor children, when you no longer have anything to feed ourselves?"
"I'll tell you what, husband. Early tomorrow morning we will take the children out into the forest where it is the thickest. We will light a fire for them, and give each of them 1 more piece of bread. And then we will go to our work and leave them alone. They will not find the way home again, and we shall be rid of them."
"No, wife," said the man. "I will not do that. How can I bear to leave my children alone in the forest? The wild animals would soon come and tear them to pieces."
"Oh, you fool! Then we must all 4 die of hunger. You may as well plane the planks for our coffins."
And she left him no peace until he consented.
She used her feminine wiles to convince him. I think we should actually roll that.
Yeah, I think we should actually roll that. I'm gonna say that you can either use your charisma or your dexterity, whichever you feel the mother can do better.
I'm gonna go with dexterity.
Okay, because I think a witch that is a shape changer needs to be flexible.
Yeah, that makes sense. They have the whole mystique thing going on.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
And the question is, do I have advantage for, feminine wiles?
Well, he does not expect... I mean, he expects this in a way, but... I think you get advantage on this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll against my wisdom.
Yeah,
Wow.
good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like in the middle of it. Yes, we'll send them in the forest. Ah, but I fear so very sorry for the poor children all the same, said the man.
That's like the post-coital regret there, but now he's committed.
Yeah, I'm like on the side of the bed. She's already snoring, and I'm like, Well, the two children had also been not able to sleep for hunger, and had heard what their stepmother had said to their father. Gretel wept bitter tears and said to Hansel,
Now all is over with us.
Did they hear it though? I think they should roll a perception check.
I think Gretel should roll a perception check here. Let's see, what's you have Gretel's stats, so you go for it.
Yeah, 10. Well, in theory they both overheard it, but
okay, let's see it. He does not.
What's our DC? That's the question. Like, how big is this?
Well, she's not hiding. She doesn't like usually a cottage in those times. It's actually just a big room. Usually that's how the houses were, and there's like just curtains drawn to mark basically the rooms.
So were they whispering? Like what? Like
I would say just a DC 10. Like if they were quiet, they could hear it.
Okay. Well, I passed with an 11. So they did end up hearing the. So Gretel tells Hansel, but does Hansel believe her? Because Hansel didn't hear it.
Yeah. Let's see. I think an opposed check. You against me. He has actually. I think he has a. No, he does not have Nonsense. Well, father would never do that.
I'm not persuasive enough. All right. So Hansel's not going to come up with any brilliant scheme to save them this time, like he does in the story, because he doesn't believe it's going to happen.
He does not believe it's going to happen.
So Gretel stays up all night. Let's see. Gretel has an int of 11.
Maybe she comes up with a plan.
Maybe.
Who
Let's
knows?
see.
No,
Gretel can't think of a plan.
Nope. She stays up all night. I guess. I mean, how can you sleep when you know your father and mother are going to leave you in the forest to die the next morning?
Yep. She can't think of anything. She's trying. She can't think of anything.
Well, in the night, as she sleeps, as she wakes up or cries and so on, Hansel wakes up as well and says, What's going on with you, Gretel? Why are you so sad?
I told you and you wouldn't believe me. We're gonna go out in the forest tomorrow. We're gonna be abandoned. We're never gonna come home.
Do you really feel like father would do that? He loves us. He always has.
But Mother convinced him, and she always does everything Mother says.
Well, you know what? I don't think he'll do it. I don't think he'll do it. But just to make sure, I'll go in and listen in the morning. See if they say anything about it.
Okay.
Alright. Now go to sleep. Everything will be alright, dear sister.
I turn away and pretend to sleep, but I can't sleep.
Okay. So, when the day dawned, but before the sun had risen, the woman came and awoke the two children.
Get up, you sluggards! We are going into the forest to fetch wood. Here, take a little piece of bread. The smallest piece we have. There's something for your dinner. But do not eat it up before then, for you will get nothing else. Yeah.
Okay, so as she kind of goes away, I'm guessing to the father. Hansel is gonna try, because, well, he has his highest stat is dexterity. He's gonna try and sneak, like, behind her and see if I can overhear anything from the mother and father. So this is gonna be your thing. Do whatever you think is best for this.
Alright, I guess the question is, does she notice? Should I use her passive perception? I don't think it's gonna matter. I'll roll it though. Yeah. She so the mother doesn't notice Hansel sneaking up behind her at all. And she's, wearing like a... Now I'm thinking of her as like a... For some reason I'm thinking of her as like wearing one of those gypsy skirts that's like sort of large around the waist, so Hansel's hidden completely by it, so it's impossible for the father to see him.
That sounds good.
Yeah. And let's see. So the wife goes up to the husband. Does the husband say anything?
No, as I said, no, I think this is your thing. I think I'm a bit biased here, so it's your thing. You need to decide if he says something or not.
Oh, so I'm now playing
Yes.
the father. But you... Alright.
I know, but this is a it's hard not to be biased here, so it's your call.
It's hard not to be biased. She's like, are the... well... Am I playing the husband and the father right now, then? Or the husband and the wife?
No, I'll take on the role of the wife.
Okay. That's fair. Are the children ready?
Yes, dear. They were up. I gave them the bread.
Okay. You sure it's enough?
It's enough. It's enough. You should keep them a night.
Okay. I guess we should get going then. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Don't worry, you can do it. It's for our own survival. You can do it.
Okay. And he'll go off and get his axe, since they're going to cut down trees.
Okay, well, I think at this point, Gretel believes her. Well, believes Gretel. Hansel believes Gretel right now. He believes what's gonna happen. So I think he'll run outside as fast as he can and try and gather, look around. He sees the pebbles, but it doesn't really ring a bell because in the story they shone in the moonlight. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna try and just take a stick, whatever, like a hard stick or just a walking stick. In those times, walking sticks were a thing, I think. Okay. And he's gonna pretend like he's very up for it. Like, let's go, father.
Of course, son. Just follow along behind me.
Okay, and
Gretel, you ready?
Come, sister, come. And I wink to her as she comes.
Okay, she's looking at you. She brightens up a little bit. She's like, okay. Maybe she's a little bit resigned to her fate.
Okay, well, I'll basically push her so that she goes in front of me. And as we move, from time to time, not all of the road, I'm basically gonna push in the stick in the ground so I leave tracks, like lines of where we went.
Okay. So the marching order is
the father,
mother, Gretel, Hansel.
I do not think the mother is with us though. I think she's at the house.
She comes with you in the story. We can say she stayed behind, but
I'm thinking because she's the witch, she needs to make it back to her house because she waits them now or she waits them later.
That's a good point. Maybe she goes and hides at her cottage because she's expecting the children soon.
I think actually no. I think you're right. I think she should be with them, but I think she shouldn't go with the father. Like basically just spy on them, maybe.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So she's going, but she doesn't. No one knows she's there.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think that she needs to roll some stealth checks.
Okay.
Opposed by everyone else's perception checks.
Well, I think Gretel and Hansel will get a disadvantage on this because they are not explaining it whatsoever, and Hansel is very preoccupied with doing something else.
Okay. Seems fair. But the father's not preoccupied by anything, and he's he's always looking around the forest. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good tree. Oh, I found some deer spore."
So let's see about that perception.
So 2d20. So is that?
Yeah, it's a 10.
Whose perception is that?
That's the dad's. He has a wisdom of 13, so 1.
Okay, so 2d20, KL1, wisdom. Oh, this is just, it's actually the same for both Hansel and Gretel.
Wow. So, is it Hansel or Gretel?
I rolled Hansel first, because that's the way they're written down. So
Hansel does see her, but I don't think he'll say anything.
Hansel's really confused at this point. Hansel's just like, what is going on? Mother is like shifting through the forest like some sort of bizarre spy. He lacks the words to describe this concept, being an ignorant, hill child.
He doesn't get it, but he's not. She's not gonna do anything. He's not gonna do anything because his father hasn't noticed what he's doing, and he's pretty happy about his plan.
Oh, has the father noticed the
stick? Yeah.
The stick plan?
I don't think it does. No. I mean, you can always advantage of it if you want to. Cat on stream. Cat on stream, everybody.
he's not participating. He's just hanging out. So yeah, you can just say that. That's fine.
Okay, so.
Okay, and you can't interfere with the mic though. Okay.
So let's see how the story goes on. Let's see. So at a point, the father basically says, "Now, children, pile up some wood, and I'll light the fire so it may not be cold." Hansel and Gretel gathered brushwood together, as high as a little hill. The brushwood was lighted, and when the flames were burning very bright,
no.
The man said, "Now, children, lay yourselves down by the fire. We'll go in the forest and cut some wood. When we have done, we will come together and we will come back and fetch you away." I think narrator is gonna jump to you now.
Okay. Well, Gretel's really tired since she didn't sleep at all last night, so she's probably gonna fall right to sleep.
Okay. Well, Hansel kind of knows what he's done. He looks back.
But Hansel really had some stuff to think about. Like, the fact that their mother is stalking them through the forest is really weird. The fact that their father agreed to do something so horrible is really weird. He's trying to figure out how he'll be able to find his stick marks in the dark. So he has some stuff to contemplate. So he's probably going to try and stay awake and think about these things. And he slept last night, so he should be fine.
Yeah. Okay, so Hansel stays awake, and the mother is there though. What happens with the mother?
When she's watching them?
I mean, I'm guessing she is, because how else would she figure out if she needs to go to the cabin or go back home?
She's watching them. She's cackling to herself. Well, I mean, she thinks they're stupid kids. And she thinks she has the husband wrapped around her finger, so she thinks there's no way they could possibly make their way back. So the question is, how does she ensure that when they're lost in the forest, they come to the secret cottage instead of the regular, instead of anywhere else in the forest? It's a big forest.
I think that this is this cottage is enchanted into the royal woods. It's something that, when somebody really needs something, that internal feeling shows itself in the forest, and the forest acts on that and guides you into the way to your need, and that need is starvation, food.
So as soon as they get really hungry.
Yeah, as soon as they get extremely hungry, you could eat another human being hungry.
Well, she's really impatient. then, and she's gonna try and sneak up and steal their bread away, so they'll get hungry sooner, as soon as Hansel falls asleep. But I don't think Hansel falls asleep, so she just watches.
Let's roll Constitution save to see if he falls asleep or not. I think he gets an advantage because he slept last night.
Okay. He still has a terrible Constitution save. What's his DC?
-1. I think the DC is just a plain 13, which is the normal DC for such things.
Oh, he's fine.
He's fine. She doesn't
He's
get a
wide
chance.
awake.
She doesn't get a chance to do it. And, well, let's see what happens in the morning. Well, in the morning and that night.
Well, in like the late afternoon.
So, when at last they awoke, it was already almost dark night. Gretel began to cry and said, "How are we supposed to get out of the forest now?" But Hansel comforted her and said, "Just wait a little until the moon has risen, and we'll soon find our way." And when the full moon had risen, Hansel took his little sister by the hand and tried to follow the tracks he left on the ground. So what do you think? Does Hansel make it?
He's basically, he put holes in the dirt every so often.
Not holes, it's more like tracks. It's like moving and then like keeping the stick. I'm gonna show you. Like keeping the stick like this and putting it on the ground.
It's like a rut.
Yeah, it's like a rut.
It's like a relatively small rut. So the question is it bright enough for him to find it? I guess. I mean, if there were no trees overhead and it was a really full moon.
Well, we can say that at this point at least he does find it. Because why? Because the pebbles shine in the night as well. I mean, there's enough moonlight to light the pebbles.
I think he'd be able to find it. I don't even think we need to roll a perception check. I think, if he was hunting around, he could definitely find.
Oh, good point. Let's roll for a moon phase.
So let's see. Full moon is like. That's a D28, roughly.
Yeah.
And then do we want full to be 14 and new to be like 1 in 28?
Yeah, I think that's good. And depending on how it looks, let's see. Roll it. 11.
Oh, it's like 3 days before the full moon. Yeah, it's pretty bright.
Yeah, it's pretty bright. You can see. They can see on the ground. And well, I'm gonna leave the model to you. Hansel and Gretel start moving. Gretel is happy as she sees her brother's plan and congratulates him many times. They eat their bread on their way, and they walk the whole night. And by break, they came once more to their father's house. Let's sidetrack a bit to the mother. She sees them going on the right track back home. She sees what Hansel has done.
And she races ahead to get to the cottage before them, otherwise it'll look very suspicious.
Well, I don't think there's any role for this. If they're not racing ahead, they're easily taking their way. So I think she does get here before.
And she's magic, so it's fine.
So the father is basically being very sad in front of the fire and sees like the mother all flushed and coming in. "Where have you been? Left the children in the forest and you're not even here."
"I was out trying to procure us more food. I do everything to take care of you. I do everything for you."
"Oh, damn it. My only children." And he continues on moping over there. And maybe he has like a hidden cask of like some bourbon or something like that.
I think he's a little too poor for bourbon.
It's like one of those gifts he gets annually from the king. It's like for good service, like that. I don't want to come to where you are, so I'm just gonna send something expensive your way.
Maybe. I feel like if he had something expensive laying around like that, though, he would have traded it for bread.
But it's a dwarf. It doesn't really matter. Like they don't have it to give it. It's like giving bread and water in a lacking part of the year would be actually giving your life. So even if you had something very expensive, it would basically be worth nothing in a time where everybody wants food. Where food is more expensive than bourbon.
There's always going to be some rich guy who has enough to eat, though, and wants some expensive drink, and I mean, he has a 16 int. He would figure this out.
Yeah. So maybe it's just like a cheap wine.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. He knows all the cheap wine he wants.
Yeah, cheap wines. Good. So he's just drinking over the fire. And then, suddenly, a knock at the door. The mother knows who it is. And you hear Hansel's voice. Mother! Father! We're back!
And the father... Wait, who's playing the father now? I guess you just did Hansel's voice, so I should be playing the father.
Okay, go.
They've come back! They've come back! Hooray! Hooray! Oh, what a joyous day! And he runs to the door. He swings it open. He enfolds Hansel and Gretel in his arms. He's like, I never thought I'd see you again after you ran off into the forest and got lost.
Naughty children. Why have you swept along the forest? We thought you were never coming back at all. I think Hansel at this point is extremely suspicious.
Just a little bit.
Like CSI Miami suspicious.
Wow, that's pretty suspicious.
That's pretty suspicious. Yeah. Well, he knows what's going on. He doesn't really know all of the story, but he has all of the facts. Okay, so not long afterwards.
Well, no, they have to explain why they. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Well, Gretel ran off into the forest, and I had to find her. But it's okay. I'm very familiar with the forest, and I could never ever possibly get lost in it.
She says as he looks at the mother.
Well now, good for you, smart little boy. We'll see how smart you are. Okay, so not long afterwards, the dough, cookies, and sugar that the witch used, the mother, to make her cottage have already basically rotted away, because well, it goes away at a certain point. It isn't eatable anymore. So,
she doesn't just say Alakazam bitch and it's fine.
I'm not putting the witch yet. I'm leaving it to you. Like
I'm just saying.
We'll see how it goes then. I really want to see how one of us puts in a Kazam bitch there. Well, she basically starts stealing a lot of food as well and cursing the crops after she finished building the fort or her cottage, whatever she builds.
Okay.
And
so
then,
it's just like she has to like redo the spell and regather the ingredients and.
Yeah, it takes like a lot of time to do this. Everything is eaten again. We have one half a loaf left, and that is the end. The children must go. We will take them further into the woods, so they will not find their way out again. There's no other means of saving ourselves. The man's heart was better.
It would be better for you to share the last mouthful with your children.
The woman, however, would not listen, and to nothing that he had to say, but scolded and reproached him. It's stupid, old man! We can always make more children, but there's not another one of me.
And I think that's where we have to roll her persuasion check.
Persuasion check. Her persuasion check. What's her dexterity again?
Dexterity is 14. So that's an opposed check versus his insight, I guess? Which is +1?
Yeah, and she was a 11. So she's not doing that great of a job. She's basically not into it, heart and body. She's not into it, heart and body.
It's fine. He's never had sex with any other woman, so from his perspective, it's all good.
Yeah, it's always like the best thing ever. Okay, so let's see what happens. The children, however, especially Hansel, were still awake.
Does he get like advantage on his perception check?
I think he will get advantage. I think both of them will get advantage on this. It makes a lot of sense that they would both be listening to this after the same circumstances of their first attempted murder.
Okay. Well, one of them got a 12.
The other got a 20. So they heard it. They heard it. Well,
they're both on the same page this time. That's good. They won't have to like argue with each other.
I think Hansel will try and go out again this time to see if like another good plan comes up.
Okay, so Hansel tries. Yeah, I'll try and go outside and see if I can work anything out that might help me get back again.
Stupid child. Lock the door.
Darn.
Okay.
And I guess he goes back to bed and he's like,
"Do not cry, Gretel. Go to sleep quietly. The good God will help us."
Oh, damn it. How many voices we've done for these children.
well, my voices have always been pretty, consistent for the characters I'm doing, but the fact that we're switching characters back and forth gives us some variety. It's okay though. They're children, so their voices change a lot anyway.
Yeah. It's like they change from Gretel, don't worry, it's okay, to Gretel, don't worry, it's okay.
And I actually gave the wife 2 different voices. One of them is like a little bit nicer, and the other one's like more of a croaking, groan like hag.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So early in the morning came the woman this time and took the children out of their beds. The piece of bread was given to them, but it was still smaller than the time before. On the way into the forest, she actually found them this time, and would not let them stray whatsoever from the path.
Well, his stick strategy worked pretty well last time, and all he needs to do is pick up a stick, right? So he tries to pick up another walking stick.
Well, I think the witch saw him, so she's on the look for this. So he doesn't know she saw him, so I think this is an automatic. She knows that what's going on.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So
he's still gonna do his stick strategy.
Yeah, she'll be at the back, and as they go on, she'll stop to pick up some berries, and stupid child, and basically go over with her feet on the tracks and cover them up completely.
Okay, is she there with us? And we know she's there with us, or is she stalking us again?
Yeah, I think we know she's there with us.
Okay.
Partly because mostly because of that, and partly because she's kind of suspicious of the husband that he'll not do what she wants.
Okay. So Hansel sees her smoothing out his tracks, but he doesn't know what to do. He needs to think of some new plan for how to get back.
Hansel, why do you stop and look around? Said the father. Go on.
I'm looking back at the little pigeon which is on the roof of our house.
Fool. That's not only a pigeon, as the morning sun is shining on the chimney, stupid boy. So what does Hansel do?
Hansel starts. Hansel will start.
Father, didn't you once tell me that you can mark the trees that you think are going to be good to cut down in a year or two, so you know which ones you plan to cut down?
Yes, I've told you that once when I first foresting out.
How do you mark the trees? Do you do it like this?
And he goes over to a tree and he cuts a mark in the tree like an X.
Usually, yes. I sometimes even receive special powder from the king to mark the trees when he needs an order himself.
Can I practice marking the trees today?
Oh, now we should hurry on. It's late and we don't have that much time.
You sure? I promise I won't take very long. I'll just run up and mark this tree, and I'll run up and mark this tree, and I'll run up and mark this tree.
Come on, move already, move, you child. We don't have all day. We need to get us back and get some food. Or else we get nothing for tonight. This is the mother saying, though.
Okay, so I will walk up to. I'll like whisper to Gretel that she needs to claim she has like a cramp in her foot to slow us down a little bit, so that I can justify marking as many trees as possible that are like on the trail.
Okay.
I'll be a woodcutter when I grow up, and I'll mark this tree, and I'll mark this tree, and I'll come back and cut them down.
Well, I think the father is just like moving onwards and trying not to interact with them too much. So, but the mother might not be that okay with this. So let's see. Oh, Roll 20 has disconnected for me, it seems.
Yeah, it did that for me too. I just had to refresh.
It's not refreshing for me. Anyway, let's see what happens with that. So, I think the mother will basically try and mark other trees to throw them off their path.
The metagame begins.
The metagame begins. So, I think this is a deceit check. So, yeah, I think it's a deceit check. You can use, I think you can either use your dexterity or your strength to do this. Basically, carve the same mark.
Okay. 15?
15. Okay. We'll see. We'll put that as the DC for it.
Her dex is carrying her through.
Yep. She's quite dexterous. Well, and the story goes on. A great fire was made again, and the mother said, "Just sit here, children. When you're tired, you may sleep a little. We'll go into the forest, cut some wood, and in the evening when we're done, we'll come and fetch you away, yeah?" When it was noon, Gretel shared her piece of bread with Hansel, who had eaten his on the way. Then they fell asleep, and evening passed, but no one came for the poor children.
Did they fall asleep? I guess they might have been up all night, sort of stressing.
Yeah, both of them were up this night because none of them managed to get any sleep.
So we need 2 con saves.
Yes, with disadvantage.
Yeah, with a terrible.
Well, -1, so that's a 3 for Hansel. Hansel like fucks it up completely. He just falls asleep in the first couple of minutes. And Gretel is already asleep as she falls to the ground. Like she's.
Thump.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleep, fire,
like
sleep. That sounds great.
The mother like checks her hands to see if she casted any spells, and she's like, "Oh."
Okay. They did not wake until it was dark night, and Hansel comforted his little sister and said,
"Just wait, Gretel, until the moon rises, and then we shall see the crumbs of bread which I have strewn about.
Then
we will see the marks on the trees which I have cut in, and they will show us our way home again."
I was actually like waiting to see if you would mistake that or not. So.
So when the moon came up, they set out, and it should be even brighter, right?
Even brighter. So I don't think there's any perception check here. I mean, there's any advantage or disadvantage to perception check. I think you just need to do it by a DC of 15.
Yeah. So the question is, does he notice that they aren't his marks?
Yeah, that's
at least not all of them.
Just roll your perception check and see if it's above a 15.
Fail.
So he basically he gets like run around in circles a couple of times, and he gets like deeper and deeper into the forest.
Gretel gets really suspicious. She's like,
"Are you sure we're going the right way?" He's like, "I'm absolutely sure we're going the right way."
But they did not find it. They walked the whole night and all of the next day, from morning till evening. But they did not get out of the forest, and were very hungry, for they had nothing to eat but 2 or 3 berries, which grew on the ground. And they were so weary that their legs would carry them no longer, and they lay beneath down a tree and fell asleep. Stupid children. It was now 3 mornings since they had left their father's house. They began to walk again, but they always came deeper into the forest, and they did not come out soon. They must die of hunger and weariness. When it was midday, they saw a beautiful snow-white bird sitting on a bar, with song so delightful that they stood and listened to it. And when its song was over, it spread its wings and flew before them. And they followed it. And I think at this point we can definitely say, we already described she's a shape changer. I think it's the witch.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see about this. They reached a little house, on the roof of which it alighted, and then suddenly it disappeared on the other side. As they approached the little house, they saw it was built of bread and covered with cakes, but that the windows were of clear sugar.
We will set to work on that and have a good meal. I will eat a bit of the roof, and you, Gretel, can eat some of the window. It will taste sweet.
Oh, is it? Cakes.
But it could be a magical trap, but we're too hungry to think about that.
Cakes. Hansel reached up above and broke off the little roof to try and taste it, and Gretel leant against the window and nibbled at the panes. A soft voice cried from the parlor, "Nibble, nibble, gnaw, who is nibbling at my little house?"
The wind! The wind! The heaven-born wind!
And went on eating without disturbing themselves. Hansel, who liked the taste of the roof, told...
In the mind of a child, that would work. Like,
It's just the wind!
And inside, stupid, stupid children, eat, get fat. Tore a great piece of it, and Gretel pushed out the whole one of the window panes, sat down and enjoyed herself with it. Suddenly the door opened, and a woman as old as the hills, who supported herself on crutches, came creeping out. Hansel and Gretel were so terribly frightened that they let it fall and did what they had in their hands. The old woman, however, nodded her head and said, "Oh, you dear children, who has brought you here? Do come in and stay with me. No harm shall come to you."
Do you live in the bread house? That's kind of weird. You know your house is made of bread. What do you do when it rains?
Bread? Oh, the contractor must have gotten wrong again.
What's a contractor?
It's a man you hire to build your house when you're too old and weary to do it yourself.
What kind of person would make a house out of bread? This doesn't make any sense. You're very suspicious.
Come on, come on. She took them both by the hand and led them into her little house. The good food was set before them, milk and pancakes with sugar, apples and nuts. Afterwards, 2 pretty little beds were covered with clean white linen, and she invited them to sit down and sleep. I think that this is now...
Did you get the pancakes from the house, or are they actual pancakes?
I think now we roll for who is the witch or not.
Alright.
So let's roll 1d20.
No, I rolled a 5. No.
Yes, you're the witch. Haha.
Alright, that's fine. I'm the witch.
So you answered your own question.
I have to answer my own question.
Of course not, dearie. I made those pancakes from scratch just for you.
Okay, well, we're deep in the forest and we have no idea where we are, so just gonna sleep a bit because we haven't really...
Yes! Sleep. Sleep. Sleep is good.
Can we possibly sleep outside?
Oh, but it'll be dreadfully cold tonight, and bread is a very good insulator. So the house will be very warm even if it's made out of bread.
I guess that makes sense.
Oh, it does. It does. You have to trust the old woman. Trust her.
Mother always told us to trust the elderly. And we know how Mother turned out to be. Well, anyway, let's get some sleep. And they went to sleep and felt like they were in heaven. I think narrator mode will jump to you now.
How best to trap them here? The girl is kind of a follower. I don't think she'd try anything on her own, so the important thing is to make sure Hansel is restrained.
And she builds a cage not made of bread around the bed that Hansel is sleeping in.
So I think this is a it's been a very rough day, but I think he still gets a disadvantage perception check on this.
Oh yeah, that's fine. She's not even trying to be quiet. Make it like a DC 13.
No.
Nope.
That's how it goes.
And she'll if she has time after she finishes the cage, she'll like fashion a chain, and she'll like chain one end of the chain will be on the oven, and the other chain will be around Gretel's the other end of the chain will be around Gretel's ankle.
Okay. And well, let's see, they sleep throughout the night. And Gretel is like just no. You do nothing? That's that you let them sleep until morning?
I'll watch them. Witches don't need to sleep, so I'll just watch them cackling quietly to myself.
This is basically
it's all going according to Keikaku.
This is basically a Twilight scene, but with a witch instead of a vampire.
So morning comes around, I will eventually like slap Gretel a little bit.
Get up, you lazy thing! Fetch some water! Cook something good for your brother. He's in a cage now. He used to be fat, and when he is fat, I will eat him. Oh no! No crying! Smack! 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 Get your little tush moving.
Okay, I will. Gretel tried to weep, but it was in all in vain, for she was forced to do what the wicked witch commanded. And now the best food was cooked for poor Hansel. But Gretel got nothing but crab shells.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
They always get stuck in your teeth.
Gretel, come here. Come here. It's a chicken wing. Enjoy. Well, I'm guessing like she's not. She doesn't really care much. Like, I mean, I think she would get a disadvantage perception check on this.
Oh, her perception's like -2, so that's an 8.
No,
she probably doesn't notice. Yeah.
No. Actually, yeah, she would actually need to get the disadvantage perception on everything, because we forgot about one thing. The witch has red eyes, and I cannot see really good. So, let's see.
But she has an excellent sense of smell.
It is your turn. Go on.
Yeah.
And see. What
My house smells like dirty children.
It's my turn.
It's well, when she basically fetched the water, fed him. You're the boss here. You decide what goes next.
Yes, yes. Every day you shall cook for him and feed him, and then I shall eat him.
And she regularly checks to see how the fattening up of Hansel is going. And as every good witch knows, you can tell how fat a child is just by grabbing a finger and feeling it. See, you know, if there's a good layer of fat building up, because witches love actually the fat and the gristle.
Oh, he actually, weirdly enough, Hansel is smart enough to figure out that he can do something else with that. So he takes out the chicken bone from the chicken wing he gave Gretel a couple of nights ago and sticks it out when she asks for the finger.
You're very bony. I don't remember you being this bony before. Are you getting thinner? You are eating all your food, aren't you?
Well, yes, but I'm a child. I'm growing. I use up a lot of energy.
You're stuck in a cage. What are you using all this energy on?
Well, I always try and break it.
You can't break a cage. It's a magical cage.
But I can still try. It's good to work out.
Well, stop working out. Just lay there and get fat.
What you gonna do to me? Huh? What you gonna do to me?
The witch grabs Gretel and starts like tickling Gretel.
You're like, I'll tickle your sister to death. Tickle.
If you tickle her, you don't have anybody to feed me. Ha!
I could feed you myself. I'm just lazy.
Okay. I'll stop working out.
Stupid children. Tickling always gets them.
Well, in another day, poor little sister did lament when she had to fetch water and feed her brother, and the tears flowed down her cheek. Dear God, you help us. If the wild beasts in the forest had devoured us, we should at any rate have died together.
Just keep your noise to yourself. It won't help you at all.
Early in the morning, Gretel had to go and hang up the cauldron with the water and light the fire.
So, like a few days pass, I'll check his fingers again.
I'll basically try and like easily get like bigger chicken wings, like chicken bones. But like easily, I think you can roll this advantage perception check on this.
-2, I believe. Yeah.
No idea. It's like my plan is working. Okay. So after a couple of weeks of doing this, eventually Hansel does not go any more fatter.
I guess the time has come to eat the little boy. I've been starving for a good meal.
You hear like Defiant crying in the corner.
We will bake first. I've already heated the oven and kneaded the dough. Gretel, come here. Just creep into this oven and see if it is properly heated so that we can put the bread in.
Well, give me a deception check.
Wow.
She actually, what's her charisma? What's Gretel's charisma?
It's 9.
Okay.
Oh, what's Gretel's
that's-
charisma? Gretel's
Good.
charisma is 12.
Oh, okay, so that's actually a 13.
That's a 4.
The rolls are not against story bending, it seems.
What are you gonna do?
Creep in? Well, I do not know how I am to do it. How do I get in?
Silly goose, said the old woman. The door is big enough. Just look. I can get in myself.
And she just sort of puts her head into the oven.
See, it's easy.
Kame, ha! Let's roll a... give me a disadvantaged acrobatics check.
So
Like a strength check. Versus her strength, which is 12, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the mother's strength is 12, so I get +1. That's, yeah.
Oh, shit. She does not go in, no. So she's still there. She's like, her head is in there.
No, she takes her head out of the oven.
So I think this is a initiative phase.
Oh, is it?
I think it's an initiative phase.
Alright, well my dex is +2, so suck on that.
Ha! Frack.
It's so close. It's so close.
So what would the witch do?
She takes her head out of the oven. She's like,
I have magical strength. You can never do anything like that to me. Alakazam, bitch!
Okay, and what does the witch do?
If you won't go involuntarily, I'll put you in there by force.
And she does a grapple check.
Okay.
I'm assuming she doesn't have proficiency in athletics, so it's a 15 versus. Yep. She is grappled.
Hee, little tiny girl.
So Hansel, I think Hansel at this point, like he's basically like he has a shit ton of chicken bones that he's been like playing with. Maybe some of them are sharpened. So I think he's now like what he's gonna do is he's gonna try and basically dart her.
Okay, does he have proficiency with his chicken bone darts?
I don't think. I think it's an improvised weapon, but I think he can still get a shot in.
Alright.
She doesn't see him. So
do I have to roll? I feel like I'm gonna have to roll the witch's HP here.
Roll the witch's HP.
What level is the witch?
I don't know. What do you think the level of the witch should be?
I don't know. Is she like how old is this witch? Like I figure her stats suck, so she can't be that old. Otherwise, she'd get the stat boost.
So maybe she's just level 3.
Like level 3? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like 3d6.
Yeah.
And her con was... actually, her con's 14, so she gets +2, so that's +6, so she's 18 HP.
Wow. Okay, this is not going to go.
Good luck with that.
Okay, so Hansel was going to 2d20 plus whatever his dex is. Just normal. So, I think that's a hit.
Is it? What's her AC? Base AC when you're not wearing anything is 10. We're assuming she doesn't have any like magical spells on.
Yeah. I mean, she was not expecting this. Let's see.
So his dex is he doesn't have a dex mod.
No, he doesn't. So he just rolls normally. I just rolled with advantage because she does not see him.
Oh, that's okay. That's fair. So that's a hit.
Okay, what do we have in improvised weapon?
They're D4, aren't they? I think improvised weapons are D4.
Oh, let's go with D4s. I think it's a D4 as well. 4 points of damage.
Ouch.
So how does the witch react to this?
Ah! Yeah, just stuck me in the arm. Is that a chicken bone?
No,
she looks up.
No, that's me. I may have to stab you. Gretel was like looking at her brother and trying to basically stall her.
Is that like a bluff check? Do I have to like roll insight?
I think this is a bluff check.
Alright. Let's see. That's another -2.
She has no idea.
You made a shiv! You made a shiv out of a chicken bone? That's just not cool. That's not little girl behavior at all. You're a terrible little girl.
Okay, now it's still Gretel's turn though, because she hasn't actually done anything.
Gretel is what Gretel's gonna do? She's gonna punch the shiv in.
Okay.
So let's see about that. What do you think? Does she hit or not? She has a +1 to strength.
No, that's still in a 9. Base AC is 10.
Does not hit. So she does not manage to do it, but now it's the witch's turn. What does she do?
Well,
she is still in a grapple with her.
Yeah, so you can move a grappled target, right? And it's just like half speed. So she moves she like pulls Gretel into the oven.
Okay, let's make sure. 1 second. Let me look at this. Actually,
yeah, it's actually worth checking.
Because it might be a acrobatics check for this.
Combat. Actions in combat.
What do we have? All grapple checks.
When you move, you can drag or carry the grappled creature with you, but your speed is halved. So, but I move. That means I have to move her with me, which means I'd have to move her into the oven, which is kind of strange.
So you actually need to get inside of the oven yourself.
Okay, so let's say I move her to where shoving her would push her into the oven, and then I shove her, which is another athletics versus acrobatics check.
Let's see about that. 5, well, 6 actually.
Into the oven, little girl!
And the other boy is basically he's going like he's screaming and trying to throw the darts at her.
And then I, as you know, the rest of my movement, I shut the oven door.
So let's see.
So at her start of her turn, she'll take like 1d4 burning damage or something, right?
I think that makes sense.
So we have to roll her. Now we have to roll Gretel's HP.
Okay, the witch takes 6 points of damage. So she's already taken 10 points of damage.
Yeah, she's at 8.
Good. So a child, I think. I think we just. What's her con modifier?
Gretel's con modifier is 7.
Wow. So
Whatever her HP is, it's -2.
Yeah, 1d6 -2. So let's see.
She has 1 HP.
1 HP. This is not gonna go well. This is not gonna go well. Anyway. Now it is Gretel's turn.
And she dies.
Yeah, she goes unconscious.
So thump.
Ka-thump.
The witch hears the ka-thump from the oven. She's like,
dinner tonight.
So what does the witch do now?
well, she got hit by another chicken bone after she shoved Gretel in the oven. So she turns around and she's like,
It was you! You made the little sticky chicken bones!
And
Naughty,
I'll kill you with them. Let her go.
Naughty, naughty!
and he goes up. Just death saving throws happen at end of turn, actually, right? So she goes unconscious as soon as her turn starts. So she has to roll a DST. No, it's a pass.
She's actually okay. Well, she'll take basically like 2 fails on the next turn. So actually, if that was a fail, she would already be dead.
You don't know what you don't know what Hansel's gonna do on his turn.
I think.
What is Hansel gonna do on his?
I think I knew. I think I know he's gonna throw another one of those shivs.
Okay. So the witch goes up to the cage and like reaches in and tries to claw at Hansel with like an improvised unarmed attack, which I think does 1 damage, like flat, but whatever.
No.
She misses.
No way. No way.
Okay. On her next turn, she'll probably unlock the cage and make that a little easier on herself.
Yeah.
That's her turn for now.
Come here, my precious. I have something I want to give you.
I would actually argue an advantage on this because she reaches in, so it's easier for him to stab her. What do you think?
I think you want to kill the witch.
Kinda.
No, she's looking right at him. She can, and you know, there's the bars, the cage are in the way now.
Okay. So it's Gretel's turn. She takes 2 fails because of the damage. So on her end of the turn, roll one of the death saving throw.
Gretel dies, guys. I'm sorry.
Gretel dies. Gretel's baked. Literally. It is the witch's turn.
Again?
Yeah, it's the witch's turn.
Shouldn't have Hansel gotten an attack in there?
No, Hansel is after.
No, but I attacked you.
And I attacked you with the 1.
Oh, you rolled the 1. I didn't see the 1. So she'll open up the cage. She can do that as part of her move action.
Yeah.
And she'll get right up in Hansel's face. Like,
Your sister just died according to the rules of the castle, or the rules of the cabin. Yeah, you can't save her anymore. Why don't you just give up? Money, you do.
Oh, I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
she misses again.
And he just basically just stabs at her frantically, whatever he can get. And he misses completely. He is way too enraged to do anything properly.
You know what? I think this is taking too long. I'll just grapple you and drag you over to the oven so you can be with your sister.
He can probably oppose that.
No! Leave me
Ah! You failed!
Yes.
So now we have to determine how far away the oven is from
Well, I think it's
the
not.
cage.
I think it's
not that big a cottage, right?
1d15 on however many feet. 1d15 plus 2. Like it's a minimum of 2 feet, 3 feet.
That's 25.
4 feet away.
That's okay. That's fine. Oh yeah, so she can totally move half speed, and she'll open up the oven and she'll position him for the same shove, and maybe he gets broken by the sight of his dead sister, sort of like resting in the oven.
Well, let's see. He doesn't.
I didn't take her clothes off first. Clothes aren't good eats. Oh well.
He basically turns around, like he takes an AoE, like he turns around towards the back of her and tries to shove her in.
Okay.
Okay, giving an AoE.
A what?
An opportunity attack. Attack of opportunity.
He shouldn't leave her threat. I mean, he shouldn't leave the threatened squares though.
Oh no, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
if he just walks around her, it shouldn't provoke an away.
So it's 1d20. He doesn't actually have any string attack. It's actually a 17. Close the door. And
that's actually -1. It's 17, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
As I close the door and latch it on, I turn around back towards the oven. I sunk down. Well, Hansel sinks down and starts. Gretel.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over yet. What does the witch do?
Right. So on the witch's turn, she takes 1d4 damage from the fire.
So she's at 12. She's at 6 HP.
She is at 6 HP, and she tries to. Well, obviously, she tries to open the oven from the inside.
Interesting.
That's like a disadvantaged strength check.
Yeah, it's latched. So I say a 15 because no, the house is made out of. Well, no, it wouldn't. This would be made out.
You couldn't make an oven out of bread.
You could.
It'd be hilarious, but it's not possible.
So 15 is okay.
Oh, so close.
Hansel hears the scratching, and he raises himself up.
And I'll try and imitate. I'll make a deception check. I'll try and imitate Gretel's voice.
Help me, Hansel! Help me! Don't leave me in here with her! Help me!
Gretel, you're still alive! I open the oven, like unlatch it and open it. And I see her still alive, and I stab at her. Get out of the way, Gretel! Okay.
That's a hit. You actually cannot do enough damage to kill her, though.
No, I can't.
She's at 3, and then her turn starts, and she takes another d4 burning damage, and she's at 1. She's still alive.
She's like, you little fool! She's dead! That was me!
And she can't provoke an away, so she'll take the disengage action, and she'll like crawl out of the oven and dash past him to the.
She can dash. She cannot dash. She's already.
Well, you know, like not like the actual dash action, but she'll literally like run by him to the door of the cabin, and she'll open the door of the cabin, and she'll close it and be like, "When I'm not here, the magic fades, and it'll all collapse."
I look in the oven fast and see. Let's see if I notice. Nope, I don't notice that. Actually, do I see she's dead or not? I think I don't see she's dead or not.
She's not moving. It's not. I mean, maybe you're like delusional. You're like just hoping against hope that she's alive. So you can see her body, and she's like not moving.
I'm gonna reach in with the hand and try and drag her out. And for the rest of my turn, I'm basically gonna move at half speed, and I'm gonna go to one of the windows where Gretel ate a panel of it.
Okay.
And I'll try first to get her out and get myself out.
Okay. So on the witch's turn, the cottage starts to collapse. The bread sort of folds in. The only real thing here is the oven. So the oven's like now starting to burn the bread, and there's smoke, and the witch runs deeper into the forest.
Well, I'll get out, and do I see the witch anymore?
You can probably because it was in a clearing, so even if she like double moved, you'd be able to see her like on the edge of the forest. She's not looking back though. She assumes that you're not going to make it out alive.
So if she doesn't look back, so I don't get a disadvantage for that. Oh shit! Hansel fails his attack, but he basically just runs back to Gretel. Gretel, say something. Say something.
She's dead, Jim. She's dead, Jim.
He just like puts his hand into like the house and starts like ripping parts of it away.
Like angrily or
angry at the same time as actually thinking of what to do next.
All right. Well, the smokes. He's gonna start like breathing in smoke soon if he doesn't get away from the house.
Well, at first he doesn't really care, but after he starts coughing real bad, he starts dragging Gretel's body away.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, presumably the witch takes a short rest so she can get some HP back because she's at 1. So close, so close. And
Curse spoiled again. I'll never get to have any children this way. Well, you know what I mean.
Hansel will bury Gretel, and I'm thinking that the chests in the house are still there though. They're still real.
oh yeah.
I mean, even if those
Oh, yeah, and they would actually. I mean, once the bread won't leave a ton of ash or like debris the way a normal fire would. So at the end, they'll just be like an oven and some charred wooden chests.
I take the whatever pieces of like the house I broke off, stuck them into my pockets, and I open the chests.
Okay. In the chests, you find a great number of pearls and precious gems and other sort of compact wealth. And
do I find anything at all that looks weird?
that looks weird.
Yes, it's.
Well,
like
I mean, from your
perspective,
gems are pretty weird because you've never seen them. You've just heard of them in stories.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I will take handfuls of them, but that's not really my deal. I'm taking handfuls and I'm basically throwing them away mostly. I'm trying to find something because I think I know what's going on, but I need some more proof.
Oh, well, let's see. You might find. Oh, let's say that there was a ring that your mother always wore, and one day she lost it, and no one knew what happened to it. And you find that in one of the chests.
Interesting. I take that, and with the last 2 chicken bill darts I have, I walk back to Gretel with a pocket full of bread and a pocket full of gems and the ring.
Okay. You don't know where home is though. Do you just go in the direction that the witch went?
Yeah, I'm basically just gonna go and try and find my way.
All right. Give me a perception check to like track the witch.
No way.
No. So you just wander around randomly in the non-enchanted forest. What are the odds that you would actually find your way back?
It's your call.
So you heading north. One sec.
No problem. Intense thinking right now. I'm sorry about that. This constant cough is not going away. No, there's no actual place in the book where it says where the forest is.
I know. Okay, so at the end of wandering around all day, I know roughly where you are,
Okay.
and I want you to, but you don't see any tracks of any kind. and it's not an area of the forest that you've ever been to before, at least not that you remember.
My father once told me about the sun rising from where home should be. So I wait for the sun.
Okay. You can definitely see this, like the direction of the sun, not right as it rises, but you can see where it comes when it comes past the tree line. You can definitely see it, especially if you climb a tree.
No, that isn't. I'm just waiting.
Okay.
There's home, and I start going like towards the sun's direction, and I try and do not change direction whatsoever.
Okay. So after like a day and a half, you get to a place that looks kind of familiar. Give me another perception check. And you're pretty sure that... Okay, so let's see. Home is actually to the west, and let's say west is 4. So west is 4, so north would have been 3, so east. So you go in the opposite direction. You go east.
Okay, so actually the opposite direction. This would be actually good for me because home is east.
Home is west.
Home is west.
West was 4.
Okay.
And you're from where you were. Home was west. You like went past it a little bit, and so now you're going in the wrong direction.
Well, I go on and see if I find anything that I know.
Okay. Give me another perception check at the end of the day.
Okay, you know what? Let me actually roll. D4. So I actually have food only for 3 days. That's all that I got. Okay.
Okay, so this is the last day you have food.
Yeah, and after that I go into starvation. 17.
Ah, finally. You're like, oh, wait, no. This looks familiar. Home was actually the other way.
So I started going that other way.
So now you were like half a day from home when you went the wrong way. So now you're like a day and a half from being home.
So I walk towards home. I'm basically a bit starving at the end of it.
To get there in like mid-afternoon.
I do not knock at the door. I look in the window to see what happens inside. What's happening inside?
You look in the window and you see your mother. You know, sort of doting on your father, and it looks like there's plenty to eat. She looks a little sad, almost like she didn't get, almost like she's lost her children or didn't get to eat them or something. And your father looks very morose, and he's drinking a lot. A lot of the cheap wine is gone. You see like an empty keg.
I lick my lips, but no, Hansel. Let's do this for Gretel. And I wait until night.
Okay.
Until they fall asleep. I easily go inside. I try to want to go stealthily inside. So I'm guessing stealth check versus disadvantage.
Actually, I'm going to give them a -2 because of the sleep thing. And the father's like too drunk to even notice. So, yeah.
I walk towards the mire. Your time to die, evil witch. And I'll basically just critical hit her.
With the chicken bone?
With the chicken bone in the neck.
You're not going to like go get an axe or something?
I don't think about that, no.
Okay.
Did you roll how much she got back in HP?
Oh, I didn't. Well, it's been several days, so I assume she's back at full, right? Because she could do like 3d6 hit dice per day, and then the next day she could do 1, and the day after that she could do 1. So statistically...
But my question is, usually HP changes depends on the form of the creature.
So she might have less HP because she's polymorphed into your mother?
Yep.
Like, okay, maybe she only has like 1d6 plus 2 HP. She has 4 HP because she's disguised as a commoner. Die, witch. So you critical hit her for 2d4.
Exactly. And as
exactly 4 HP.
I wake up, Father, wake up! Look at her. She's not your wife.
As she dies, she transmogrifies into this hideous old hag with like a long nose, and she's missing teeth, and she's completely flat chested. But even the flat chestness is sagging. There's like wrinkles everywhere.
She killed Gretel.
Son, you've come back to me. What are you talking about? Where's my wife?
She points. That's her.
That's not my wife. That's an old hag. What have you done with my wife?
I take the ring that she lost, go to her hand, and show him the exact spot where the sun basically left the white spot on her finger.
There's no spot.
No spot? Then I just say, well, was anybody else in the house?
And when he sees the ring, he says, "Where did you get that? She lost it years ago when she got lost in the woods for a day."
I take out the shiny locks and I throw them down on her body. I found her cabin in the woods. She's been stealing all the food, trying to lure children in. She got Gretel.
The father rolls an intelligence check, and he, the witch. This must be the witch that's said to live in the woods, and she must have taken your mother and impersonated her. She didn't lose the ring. She stole it. Your mother's actually been dead for years. I've been sleeping with a witch this whole time.
I slap him. Gretel is dead, and you're thinking about you've been sweeping wet?
I mean, I didn't care about you that much, or I wouldn't have left you in the forest, right? But this is just weird.
I kick him in the balls. I just more headbutt him in the balls.
But it's Hansel, we only have each other now, but at least we won't have to worry about food anymore.
I take the shiny locks, I put them in my pocket, I go to the door, I look back, I say, "Oh, Kazam, bitch," and I walk away.
Your father's like dejected. He ends up drinking himself to death.
And I'm like, God damn it, talk about fucked up families.
Oh, and that has been Pinball Storytellers presents Hansel and Gretel.
That went almost as weird as Red Riding Hood did.
It went pretty far off the rails at the end. Oh, I feel so bad for Gretel.
I feel so good for leaving that bastard at home.
Oh, wow.
That was awesome. Okay, so I think that's the end for our episode this week.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about anything?
I think we can do it in Twitch, in Storytellers Talk to Twitch.
Okay.
I think we're good to go for now. No, I mean after this and after Storytellers Talk to Twitch, you guys will be able to see me playing Hearthstone on my stream over at Cavalier Guest on Twitch. So if you haven't checked out my channel, if you have any interest in Hearthstone, or if you like poems, so every 25 followers I do a new poem, and I'm actually at 251 right now. Someone followed me in the middle of the night, so there will be a poem on my stream today. So if you want to hear me recite a poem, you should definitely come check out my stream.
Go check him out. Well, you guys know my own stuff. The schedule is down below. There's only a couple of days where I'm not connected to the virtual world anymore because I have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of work to do. So not Friday and Thursday is gonna be free days for me, and that's I mean Sunday and Saturday, Hold of Dragon Queen and Underground. And now after this, in a couple of minutes, we'll do Pinball Storytellers Talk to Twitch, which is basically us talking to you about Pinball Storytellers. So stick around if you just tuned in and you have no idea what this is, or stick around if you want to ask any questions or give us any suggestions about the show. See you guys in a couple of minutes.